11 amazing monuments in the world. Number 11. Metamorphosis. This incredible statue is located in Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. It's 25 feet tall and it's made entirely of stainless steel. It was made by an artist born in Prague, in Czech Republic, named David Cerny. The statue spits water from its mouth, and the 7 layers of metal that make up the statue's head rotate throughout the day. The program that controls the head was actually written by Cerny himself as well. Cerny loves incorporating computers and engineering to elevate his modern works. He also probably does a lot of drugs too. That helps. Number 10. Catherine the Great. This is a monument to Catherine the Great that stands in the heart of St. Petersburg, Russia. The statue is actually the oldest on our list, with it being unveiled in 1873. Catherine is widely regarded to be the best leader in Russia's history. During her reign, Catherine worked to improve the quality of life for her subjects, as well as a large emphasis on education. Her rule was so influential that it was dubbed the Golden Age of Russia. The statues surrounding her are actually also people that had a large effect on Russia during the time of her rule, with politicians, generals, and poets alike. The monument was made by M.O. Mikoshin. It still stands today, and it can be found at the Alexandrinsky Drama Theatre and the Russian National Library. The location is significant given Catherine's love of education and the arts. Number 9. Maqam Ekshahid. The Maqam Ekshahid, which translates to the Martyrs Memorial in English, can be found in Algeria. The memorial was built to commemorate the war fought for Algerian independence. It opened its doors in 1982 with the 20th anniversary of the war's end. The monument was built to look like 3 freestanding palm leaves that shelter a flame underneath. There is also a soldier at the base of each leaf so that they can commemorate the soldiers lost in the war. The location of the monument is actually the remains of an old military fort. The monument also contains a crypt, amphitheatre, and a museum. Number 8. Christ of the Abyss. There are 1,000,001 statues of Jesus out there. It's hard to find a way for your statue to stand out. Well, the Christ of the Abyss certainly found a way. The original statue is located in the Mediterranean Sea. There have also been several replicas made throughout the years. The statue was originally sculpted by Guido Galletti and it was placed in the sea in 1954. There are also replicas in Granada and in the US in Florida. Both of the replicas were gifts and they were recast from the original mold. I guess Rio doesn't get to keep the award for coolest use of Jesus in a statue. Number 7. Chitzik Pitzik. Chitzik Pitzik is actually a Russian folk song that is mostly about drinking, as I imagine most Russian folk songs are. Nobody really knows the origin of the song, but it is believed that it is about a student at the Imperial School of Jurisprudence. The song references a bird called the siskin, which has the colours of yellow and green, and the college colours are yellow and green. The students actually nicknamed themselves Chitzik Pitzik. The statue was installed in 1994 outside the former school. The statue is one of the smallest in St. Petersburg, and it has something of a wishing well, with people throwing coins down to try to catch them at the base of the statue. Number 6. The Monument to the Conquerors of Space. This monument in Moscow is pretty much what it sounds like. The Russians were super proud of themselves for getting to space. It was opened in 1964 to celebrate their foray into space. The monument features a rocket shooting towards the sky. The base of the monument contains the Memorial Museum of Cosmonautics. The design is actually the result of a design competition that was started in 1958. There were over 350 designs submitted, but the design of a group of sculptors and architects was chosen. The grand opening was actually on the 7th anniversary of the launch of the Sputnik 1 satellite into space, which was the very first satellite launched into space. There's a plaque in front of the monument that reads, "And thus rewarded are our toils, that having vanquished lawlessness and dark, we have forged great flaming wings for our nation of this age of ours." Number 5. The Atomium. The Atomium is located in Brussels, Belgium. It was designed by André Waterkane, André Pollack, and Jean Pollack. The sculpture was designed in the 50s, and it was chosen to embody the scientific progress that was being made at the time. The sculpture actually doesn't depict an atom, it depicts 9 of them. It is modelled after the cells found in an iron crystal, except obviously way bigger. The statue was originally made of aluminium, but it was replaced with stainless steel in 2007. When the renovations of the monument were being made, you could actually buy old pieces of the aluminium that the monument was previously made out of. You can go inside some of the lower spheres, but not the higher ones for safety reasons. Number 4. The Korencija Monument. The Korencija Monument is one of many monuments found in the former Yugoslavia. They were built in the 60s and 70s, and they were made to commemorate the battle fought in Yugoslavia during World War II. This particular monument is located on the border of Croatia in the city of Lika. The monuments were commissioned by the then dictator Josip Tito. The futuristic look of the monuments is because Tito didn't want to show any statues or busts of the generals. He believed that by showing them, he would appear to be honouring a specific race. The monuments aren't very well known now, and the Kerentia monument was actually torn down recently. There are still thousands of remaining monuments still standing, however. Number 3. Pedral dos Descobrimentos. The Pedral dos Descobrimentos, or the Monument to the Discoveries, is a monument in Lisbon on the bank of the Tagus River. The monument honours the 15th and 16th centuries in Portugal, also known as the Portuguese Age of Discovery. The Age of Discovery mostly saw the Portuguese exploring the Orient and India. The monument was made in 1960, but it took some time to be built. It was first designed by José Cottolini Telmo in 1939. It was built on a temporary basis soon after, but it was demolished in 1943. The finished statue isn't exactly the original design because so many people wanted to add things to honour different people. Most notably, Henry the Navigator, who is considered to have been the driving force behind the beginning of the Age of Discovery. The people on the statue are various figures that were important to that age, including Ferdinand Magellan, who was the first to circumnavigate the globe. Number 2. The lab rat statue. Although animal test subjects in science has been a difficult political issue since it first became popularised, there is no doubt that we owe a lot to these little guys. The statue was designed by Andrew Karovich, and it stands in Novosibirsk, Russia. In his design, he combined the aesthetic of both the scientist and the rat because he believes that they are deeply related to one another. He attempted to show the rat in the throes of scientific discovery, or as he calls it, having a eureka moment. The institute where the statue is located, the Institute of Cytology and Genetics, wants to honour the lab animals with the statue, as well as a plaque at the base that explains exactly how each of these animals has made an impact on humanity. Number 1. Lenin at the Pole of Inaccessibility. When something has a name, like the Pole of Inaccessibility, you expect to find ice and death for miles. You will. However, you will also find this random statue of Vladimir Lenin poking out of the snow proudly, and also an abandoned research centre. The Pole of Inaccessibility averages a temperature of -72.8 degrees Fahrenheit and is one of the harshest environments on the planet. The location was actually accessed in 1958 by an 18-man party of Russians. The research lab was abandoned after the fall of the Soviet Union, and it is completely buried in snow. The lab was actually only active for just a few weeks. The Lenin statue is also disappearing. As the snow rises, the statue disappears more and more each year. As of 2007, the snow had started to envelop the base of the statue. Because the pole is so rarely visited, we don't know the current standing of the statue. The figure of Lenin is actually made of plastic because no other material could withstand the wear and tear of the climate.